Welcome back everybody. In this video I'll be showing you the Slicks prototype that I'm starting. I have currently made some pseudo 3D stuff and I'll walk you through some tips and tricks for making stuff look like this. So let's get started. I'll just talk about how this is actually working. Currently it's just when I click on this this little car here, or my car, then the enemy car just drives off into the distance. And that's very simple. It may look complicated, but I'm trying to make sure that I'm like thinking about the future as I do this. And obviously we have to consider the actor limit and also the frame limit. As you can see, I'm on 10 or 6 actors at the moment. And that would increase if I made the scene bigger, but that doesn't mean it would help anything. But let's talk about why I'm doing it like this right now. Currently, I'm making it so when I click on this, it currently all of these get hidden when the scene starts, and then when I click on it, it shows the bottom one, and then it waits 0.5 seconds, and then it hides it, and then it does that to each of them, so it looks like it's moving down the road. And that's extremely simple. In the future, I'm going to make it so one does all of them, and it sets it to the correct position. I would do this just by having an on update on something, just like I could here. I could have an on update, and then when a value is set to a certain value, it then updates this actor to the right frame and puts it in the right position. And it would be that simple. And that would only use one actor, but it would still use 5 frames. Currently this is using another 5 frames, but it only needs to use 1. I was just testing. This is just the reverse of this. But obviously the idea is you are always in the same position, but it's the enemy player that can change, right? As you go past them, or it goes past you. So with that out of the way, let's talk about how I created the artwork for these pseudo 3D things. So if in art you kind of understand the idea of perspective lines, then you probably already know what this is, what you're looking at. I'll just hide them, and I'll show you the first car I made. I think it was one of these, and from here I then drew lines with the the pencil tool or whatever. And if you start at the horizon line, I've obviously got the road that's marking the horizon line already. So this is the vanishing point, and everything converges on the vanishing point. So when you click on there and hold shift, then you can draw these lines. And if I make it so it's clipping the the edge of the tires, then we can see that this is the scale of the car at each of these blocks. And obviously I want to keep it inside the 2x2. If you had the plugin for the bigger sprites, you could have much bigger sprites to fill the to make bigger looking things, and you don't have to. See what I've done here? I've got this this border here so that I can like zoom in on the action, because if I was to zoom out and hide this stuff, then I would have to have an actor. If I want to have my car on the road, it would have to be huge, and obviously our sprite limit doesn't allow that. So I've deliberately cut it into this size so that we can control the size of the actor, or the maximum size of the actor, and how many actors we need to show. If you can see as well, I kind of cheated by having this one cut off at the bottom of the screen. Yeah, I cheated by like cutting it off here so that it looks like it's bigger than it actually is. Obviously, this isn't the entire sprite, or it is the entire sprite, but we're suggesting that there's more beyond the frame, which means that we're like selling that illusion of it being closer to the camera and bigger. So yeah, after I drew these lines in, I obviously drew them in for the back wheels and the front wheels. So you can get both of them. I've obviously then gone through and I've made each car in each of these 2x2 tile bits, so that as in the game I can make it look like it's moving forward. So each one of these 2x2 has its own sprite. And then obviously, like you saw, I just make sure that it's basically doing them in sequence so that when I go into the game and press play, it just has the, it sells the illusion that there's this 3D aspect to the game. Obviously, we both know there isn't. The player probably doesn't think there is either, but all it needs to be is that you know that it's trying to be 3D. You know, it's not. We know it's not 3D. It's just trying to be 3D, and that's all that matters. It's a pseudo 3D. So yeah, that's how you make some 3D stuff. Obviously, I haven't made it so uh, that it's like a game or anything yet. I've just made it so when it clicks, it does all this stuff, and it means I can't even use the cursor when that's happening, which obviously isn't very game-like. But what I'm going to do probably is have a like a system where that kind of works out how far you need to go and you know how much time it's been, and the idea is that the other AI will have its own speed and something that like calculates how close it's getting to the end and how far it should be ahead of you. And then I'll make another thing that comes towards you that's like the finish line or the you know the lights or something. And that'll be very simple. And then I'll have a. I'm thinking if I can, I'm gonna have like a you know in those drag racing games on like mobile games, you have to I guess in other games as well, you have to just click on the like shift button. You know what I mean? Like you shift up. So when the meter gets full, you have to hit the shift gear button at the correct time in order to get the perfect shift, in order to save more time and you know beat the opponent. And also make a probably like an upgrade screen as well that you know you can upgrade your car so you can there's a bigger window for shifting, or that it goes to the shift a bit faster, or you know, it just stuff like that to improve on the gameplay and make it seem like you're progressing through a game. But yeah, that's how you do the pseudo 3D. It all begins with you plotting out the you know the horizon point and where everything is. I'll also show you a quick tip on like making buildings. Um, I'm not the best at this, but this is how, like, imagine if I wanted a building here, then I would draw the line to there, and I'd draw another one here, and then I can erase this. And obviously, if I then draw this parallel, I should draw a line through here. If I delete this, then you can see here we have a cube. And obviously, if I put the correct colors on each of the faces, then it'll kind of sell the illusion a bit better. But yeah, so this is how you make a pseudo 3D effect, obviously. So obviously in the game, when we want the car to look like it's moving towards the thing, we don't want these static objects here because it'll completely ruin that illusion. Instead, I'm going to have little objects that grow from, you know, they start here very tiny and then they grow to fill, you know, this entire thing basically. And that's how I do a racing game. Obviously, if you had a static game where your character moves up, you would just want to, you know, check which Y value they're on. You know, this if X is up and down and left and right is Y, then which Y value are they at? And then just change to the different actor that has a different scale of sprite. That's my take on this stuff. Obviously, there are different ways to do it, and depending on your game, then you'll have different things that you need to achieve in order to sell the experience. But obviously, because I'm making this a drag game, then I don't want to fill this area in too much. And it's kind of focused on the speed of the car. And obviously, by having things go by faster, and that's just by having, you know, the sprites update faster, then this I can kind of sell the speed. And the same with the cars overtaking, or like me catching up with them. The distance away from them will obviously be how far they are ahead, and how fast they go away from me or come back is how fast I'm going in relation to them. But in a future video, I can make I talk about how I achieve that. I have some ideas. Like I said, it will just be you know on update, and like once I'm doing things, like the bar of the you know changing gear, then that will help me with the you know, the values that will update, that the on update scripts will then automatically fulfill when the numbers are at their desired values. But yeah, that's it for now, guys. I just want to thank my patrons. They'll be up on screen right now. I really hope you guys found this interesting. If you did, please leave a comment on what you would want to see next, and if this is living up to your expectations so far. But yeah, like this video if you like this video, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching, guys.